Here it is, the best movie from the Tales of Terror box set, and it just happens to share one of those words. This one is titled Terror in the Jungle. I don't really know where this movie came from, I can't find much information about it, and there's not even a Wikipedia page. If you don't have a Wikipedia page, you know you're obscure. I can't really do this movie justice. I'm telling you, you have to go watch this movie right now. It will seriously be the most fun 84 minutes you'll ever have with cinema. There's this guy who's sending his son away on a plane, obviously because of some kind of divorce, as the pilot explains in his most sexist of tones.
You see, you can never win with a woman. She probably has the house, the car, and now she wants the boy too. That's life.
The boy has to travel alone, and he's a real whiner. Most of his acting consists of crying and whimpering, and it's the worst part. But he's flying with a group that is impossible to describe. It feels like a remake of the parody film Airplane. But then again, this came out before that, so maybe this was ripped off by the Zucker brothers. There's nuns, a bird lady, this old boy band. I don't know if this is done for humor, but I love it. Earlier, we see the nuns carry a casket onto the plane, so I guess they're bringing a corpse to their final resting place. But everyone on board is having a good time, singing songs and being merry. It feels like the build-up for horrific events to come. Along the way, the plane begins to sputter, probably because of the really bad blue filter, and they need to release as much weight as possible. They get rid of luggage, and there's a suitcase full of money that is ripped open, and the tender flies everywhere. You'd think this would make for an interesting story, but it's never brought up again. Then, out of nowhere, a nun goes flying out the plane door with some of the best comedic timing since Chaplin. It had me roaring the entire time. But when the plane eventually lands on some river, most of the crew gets eaten by stock footage of crocodiles. One of the crew members takes the dead corpse out of the casket so they can use the casket as a boat. The little boy ends up making it, but then the plane explodes. I have no idea why this happens, but that leaves us with a lone survivor. You'd think that'd be enough for one movie, but we're only getting started. Then the boy is caught by these Peruvian natives, who I'm sure are perfect examples of the culture, and they decide to kill him, only to stop when they find out he was sent by the sun god, or so they think, because he has really blonde hair. Oh yeah, because it looks like the sun rays, I guess. If you don't piece all of that together, don't worry, they paste a yellow upside down letter U on his head. The boy's father chases after him, ending up in Peru, where some of the locals are staring at the camera, looking as confused as the movie's plot. He meets up with a monk who leads him to the jungle, where they meet the not-so-crazy natives. I guess these are the good guys, and then the other natives are the bad guys, and then they work together to get the boy back. Meanwhile, there's a snake and a quicksand and so many dangerous turns, and then some dance number. I guess this is a dance for the gods, but honestly, any movie with a dance number deserves a 5-star rating. One of the natives gets jealous of all the attention the little boy is getting, so he convinces one of the leaders that they need to sacrifice him to the gods, which causes a disagreement between the group, and this creates a fire battle. The boy goes on the run, tons of people get killed left and right, and just as the boy is about to get caught, he gets saved by the most unlikely of sources. Throughout the entire story, this kid is carrying around a stuffed leopard that looks like the puppet from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I didn't think much of it until the very end, when the stuffed animal turns into a real leopard. I'm serious, there's literally no explanation for it. The leopard becomes real, and he just kills the guy who's been chasing the little boy. Unless, I don't know, was this kid really sent by the sun gods? Does he possess some kind of spiritual force that can awaken inanimate objects? I mean, he doesn't even get the stuffed animal back. I mean, was that a real animal? I mean, they make it look like that stuffed animal turned into a real leopard. What is going on? This was directed by 3 directors, all of who were assigned to a specific part of the movie. Years later, one of the directors apparently made a long post about the production on the film's IMDb page. The producer thought the movie was going to be amazing and sent someone literally to actual Peru to get real locations, which is pointed out about 10 minutes into the movie, so that's a little bit odd. It's like if 10 minutes into The Dark Knight there was a disclaimer on screen about how the movie was shot in Chicago. The movie had a half-finished script when that happened, and when they went to Peru, they wrote the second half, hence why the movie feels like two completely different flicks. The actors were actually paying to be in the movie. This director, Tom DeSimone, commented that the producer was extremely proud of this mess, but I think I have to side with the producer. Terror in the Jungle is one of the greatest movies of all time. I highly recommend it. When we have movies like Birdemic or The Room or even Plan 9 from Outer Space all being praised as a so bad it's good kind of movie, no, they're all wrong. Terror in the Jungle should be the most watched movie by everyone. Everyone should see this. Citizen Kane is right below Terror in the Jungle.
Here, let's give him a souvenir.
What are you doing with my coal?
Come on.
Thank you for watching the video. A special thanks to Movie Johnson, Ryan, and Lucas for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd like to be like them and get exclusive access to content and blogs, and even request reviews monthly, please click on the Patreon link, and thanks for your support.
The Jibaros have found the boy and think he's the son of their Gapinti.
It must be the same boy I reported.
I'll call it Quito.